Hey guys, welcome to my legal classes. This is Ganesh Pujari and in the series of Law of Torts. With this video, let us try understand few major characteristics of torts. Not taking much of your time, we have two slides to understand few characteristics of torts, and as always in my way I am going to explain all these characters with the help of a beautiful chart also. Why to waste time? Let's get into the first slide. As I said in the intro, let us first try understand the theory part and then I will make it easy with the help of chart in my last slide. The first characteristics of tort is a civil wrong. I think from the first video we have understood this. We have already discussed origin, meaning, definitions, nature of torts, and by now we know that tort is a civil wrong. But also make a note that all civil wrongs are not torts. Only when there is legal injury and if it is civil in nature, such civil wrongs are considered as torts. If it is just an injury which is not infringing anybody's legal rights, in that case, such civil wrongs will not be considered as torts. And that is a very important aspect you need to observe. When we are saying tort is a civil wrong, we also need to make an observation that there are few torts which can be considered as criminal offences also. Like for example, defamation, assault, negligence, all of these are torts. And in times they can also be criminal offences. If they are coming under criminal justice, the person who has committed such offence might end up paying compensation to the person who has experienced the legal injury and may also go through punishments. Now that is the beauty there. You need to know that particular aspect. That's about tort is a civil wrong. The second characteristics of tort is torts are related to legal rights, or such civil wrongs which we are discussing as serial number 1 are related to legal rights. I have already made it clear that not all civil wrongs are torts. Yes, tort is a civil wrong. That is very clear. But not every civil wrong is a tort. Like for example, if there are any economic laws, social laws, or hurt to some religious feelings, somebody has committed civil wrong, that's why you are experiencing economic laws, social laws, or hurt to religious feeling, but they are not covered as tort, or they are not covered under tort. For this, we are going to understand few very important case laws in my future videos. One such example is Gloucester Grammar School case. A school is already there. Opposite to that school, somebody else is opening another school. Because of such new school, Gloucester Grammar School experiences some loss. But it is very clearly said that yes, you have gone through economic loss, but none of your legal rights were violated. So it is not covered. That was very clearly told in Gloucester Grammar School case. I will explain this entire case when we are discussing damnum sine injuria. That's a very interesting principle that we will discuss in an independent video. When it comes to hurting the religious feelings, we will definitely discuss this case law, that is Ushaben Navi Chandra Trivedi versus Bhagyalakshmi Chitra Mandir. We will discuss this case law where religious feelings of Hindu deity was hurted. But then it was very clearly said in this case law, they will not covered under tort. So all of these case laws are making it very clear that though torts are civil wrongs, not every civil wrong is covered under tort. That is what we need to understand. That is the second characteristics of torts. Now that we know tort is a civil wrong and these civil wrongs are related to legal rights, the third point is such legal rights are right in rem. What is right in rem? Right in rem means right against the whole world. How to understand this? Imagine you have a private property and you are putting a board that trespassers will be prosecuted. That means nobody should enter your property. Now, who is this nobody? This nobody is the entire world. No one from this world should enter your property. Okay? You have the right against the entire world. That's called right in rem. Or nobody should cause defamation to you. You have the right against the whole world to live a good life. Nobody can just like that defame you. Okay, that's right in rem. But in contrary, contracts are right in personam. Like if there are two parties which are coming into contract, contract is limited to only those two parties. That way, contracts are right in personam, whereas tort or the legal rights that we are discussing are right in rem. I hope that is very clear. The fourth characteristics of torts are such civil wrongs which bothered the legal rights are fixed, redressed by legal action. Whatever legal rights which were being bothered by someone's civil wrongs, they will be redressed by legal action, which is the fourth characteristics of tort. Unlike contract or trust, where the rights are declared between the parties, tort is not self-declared rights. These rights are as accepted by the state or a particular country. Okay, that is what you need to remember. And these acceptance can be changed from one state to another based on their need, their culture, etc. But once the state recognizes something as tort, in that case, if anybody bothers or infringes such legal rights of a particular person, the state will fix by addressing via legal action. That is the fourth characteristics of torts. The fifth characteristics is sources for such law is common law or precedents. Such law means for tort law, what are the sources? Common law or precedents. Now, when we discuss about criminal laws, we know there is IPC, we know there is CRPC, we know there are Probation of Offenders Act, we know there are Juvenile Act, or if we are discussing about personal laws, we know Hindu Marriages Act, Hindu Succession Act, Adoption and Maintenance Act, or Mohammedan laws, all of that is there. If we discuss about property, we know there is Transfer of Properties Act. For contract, we have Contract Act. For sales, we have Sales Act. All of that is there. But for tort, always remember, there is no codified law for tort. Saying so, the major sources for tort law are common laws or precedents. The previous judgments on that particular aspects or some other laws which are common laws in which one or the other way these civil wrongs are covered. That means these legal rights are covered. That way the civil wrongs are redressed. That is how we need to understand. The last characteristics is related to damages or remedy. Whoever experiences tort, he will get remedy in the form of monetary compensation. Okay. Such monetary compensation are not defined. Okay. They are not like 1000 rupees, 10,000 rupees, 1 lakh. No. It will change from case to case. That is why we are calling it as unliquidated damages. And in some cases, the person who has committed tort might end up paying compensation to the one who has experienced the tort, as well as he might also go through some punishment like fines, jail time, all of that. That is also possible if it is having criminal liability. If it is only a civil wrong, in that case the person who has committed tort will pay compensation to the one who has gone through legal injury. But if he or she has criminal liability also, then they may end up paying compensation to the one who has experienced tort, as well as in additionally they might end up paying fine to the state or going through jail term, etc. So that is the sixth characteristics of tort. With that, now I am taking you to the last slide where I will explain these six characteristics with a simple chart. We discussed six characteristics of torts, and here in this chart we see all of them. The first one is tort is a civil wrong. Always remember, torts are civil wrong, but not all civil wrongs are torts. The second one, such civil wrongs are related to legal rights. If somebody is infringing your legal rights, in that case, that civil wrong will become a tort. That is the second point. The third one, such rights are right in rem. Whatever legal rights are infringed, such rights are right in rem in case of torts. That means such rights are right against the entire world. Fourth one, such rights are fixed by law. If there is infringement of your legal rights, in that case, there will be a law which will fix your laws. That is the fourth characteristics. And fifth one, whatever laws we are referring, it is not codified. Tort laws are not codified. And what is the source? Common laws or the precedents are the source for tort law. Finally, the one who experiences any kind of tort or the person who experiences the legal injury, okay, he will get remedy, and that remedy is in the form of monetary compensation. These are the six characteristics of tort, and I hope you guys have understood it very clearly. And with that belief, I am handing over this presentation to Nishan.
Yeah, it happens. People will do you wrong, then turn around and act like you did something to them. With that, I'm concluding this session. Please subscribe our channel. Please like, share and comment our videos. Thank you. Bye-bye.